The NAACP warns against travel to Toilet Bowl, Florida. Let's get into it. So the National NAACP Board of Directors have issued a formal warning to Americans, especially black Americans, from visiting the shithole state of Florida. NAACP accurately characterized Toilet Bowl, Florida, under the despotic regime of Ron DeSantis as being hostile to black Americans and other minority groups, including LGBTQ+. The board decided this through a unanimous vote, saying that the decision, quote, comes in direct response to Governor Ron DeSantis' aggressive attempts to erase black history and to restrict diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in Florida schools, end quote. Quote, Florida is openly hostile toward African Americans, people of color, and LGBTQ plus individuals. Before traveling to Florida, please understand that the state of Florida devalues and marginalizes the contributions of and the challenges faced by African Americans and other communities of color, end quote, the advisory states. Derek Johnson, who is the NAACP president and CEO, reprimanded Ron DeSantis and other Floridian state leaders for, quote, dereliction of duty toward the black community. Specifically, Derek Johnson was talking about Ron DeSantis' attack against the free teaching of critical race theory and race-related curriculum, which the Stop Woke Act of 2022 just last year sought to censor and silence in workplaces, schools, and colleges. This is what the right-wing fascists in America, like dictator Ron DeSantis, believe, by the way. That truth shouldn't be taught in public places because it offends them. They are completely the snowflakes, the cancel culture advocates, the anti-free speech and anti-ideas proponents. Both critical race theory and race-related curriculum are important because they taught historical accuracy of white people's inhumane and evil terrorist attacks against black people in the U.S., including during slavery and Jim Crow, and how that inhumane and evil maltreatment carries over to today's time, to today's present time. In other words, white deflection of responsibility and accountability. The NAACP president and CEO said in a statement, quote, under the leadership of Governor DeSantis, the state of Florida has become hostile to black Americans and in direct conflict with the democratic ideals that our union was founded upon, end quote. Johnson said in a statement, quote, he should know that democracy will prevail because its defenders are prepared to stand up and fight. We're not backing down, and we encourage our allies to join us in battle for the soul of our nation, end quote. The NAACP isn't the only civil rights group to issue a travel warning to Florida. The League of United Latin American Citizens, a Latino civil rights group, and Equality Florida, a gay rights advocacy group, also provided their own travel warnings. Florida's economy is heavily dependent on tourism. Quote, once again, hate-inspired state leaders have chosen to put politics over people. Governor Ron DeSantis and the state of Florida have engaged in a blatant war against principles of diversity and inclusion and rejected our shared identities to appeal to a dangerous extremist minority, end quote. Leon Russell, chair of the National NAACP Board of Directors, said in a statement. Russell added, we will not allow our rights and history to be held hostage for political grandstanding. The NAACP proudly fights the malicious attacks in Florida against black Americans. I encourage my fellow Floridians to join in this fight to protect ourselves and our democracy. So that's what I have to say about this story. Specifically how the NAACP warns against travel to Toilet Bowl, Florida. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section by leaving a comment. Hit the like, it helps with the algorithm and grow this community more. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We're growing, thankfully, and we're excited to have you guys on board. If you're listening to this on the podcast, then tweet me. Let me know what you think about this story there. Take care.